I wanted to address some quick things about the channel. Number one, if people have questions, the best way to ask the questions would be to put them in the comments section. And what I'd like to do is, if there are questions that I think will benefit the questioner and other people watching, I'd like to make a video response. So I'll respond to the original question, just letting the person know that I'll make a video response. Some questions I won't answer if I feel like the answer is, or the question is about something that I generally don't deal with here, that would be best dealt with by other places like religion or another teacher or something like that. So depending on what type of question it is, generally here I won't deal with questions about life issues, general daily things, even if they're very important, because it's difficult to describe, but this is the place where we're not dealing with the normal everyday. And especially if someone asks a question when they're in deep distress, sometimes it's hard for them to see through their distress and through their suffering. And I don't want to add to that by giving them something that is too direct for the place where they're coming from, if that makes sense. So I can't say I will answer every question. I also can't say that every answer I give to the questions will be something that's comforting to you where you are. The only thing I can give you is my experience and the things that I know, put "know" in quotes, and that's it. So just be mindful when you ask a question. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging your question. I'm not ever going to be disrespectful or intend any kind of harm or any kind of judgment of you and where you are spiritually in any way whatsoever. And a lot of the time, things that people will ask here in the future and things that people are experiencing deal with a lot of pain, a lot of misunderstanding, and I want to be very mindful of harm that can be done if certain spiritual truths are given when someone's not ready for them. So I just wanted to put that out there in terms of our interaction in the future on the channel. If people have questions, I never want to put myself out as someone who is giving advice or giving remedies. I'm just talking about things that I experience and who I am. Number two, the pace at which some of the truths that I'm talking about are expressed, you could see it as giving things kind of in a slow way versus a very quick way. In other words, giving little pieces of the truth, little parts of the picture at once versus the whole picture all at once and overwhelming you. In reality, both of those things are already there. In each talk, as we go along, it really is dependent on the listener, on how they get what's coming through the talk. You could get what one might characterize as a massive realization all at once. You could also start to kind of feel like you're getting glimpses. It is totally dependent on the listener, not the message or the messenger. So there's no map, there's no design to what I'm putting out in terms of I want to give everybody everything all at once, or I want to just give you a little bit at a time. It's all there all the time, and it's up to each person who's listening what they get from those things and where it comes from, and seeing that. The other question that will inevitably come up is a question about myself, even though I try to emphasize on every talk to disregard the speaker, disregard the messenger entirely. I'm sure someone is wondering, or someone will ask, am I enlightened? Am I realized? And that question is always, it always brings a smile and a laugh, not in a bad way. But it's one of those questions where eventually everyone listening to this will realize the irony of that kind of a question. And so what I will say, and I will talk about that more directly in the future, but what I will say is these talks are coming out of a place of just all-encompassing love and compassion and care. And you can't have that with a speaker or a messenger present. And maybe the closest thing I can relate it to is a mother holding her newborn baby is something. There's just a tenderness and a love there and a oneness, even though there's two entities there, that is beyond description. And so that is where these talks are coming from. If you have to have a bit of a characterization, there is really no cause to it. It's just something that is there. And like I said, it's just all encompassing. It's just pure. And so when you hear these talks, everyone listening to these talks, just understand that what's coming through doesn't have anything to do with the words. It doesn't have anything to do with the ultimate message. The power of what is happening here is coming from some place that is not describable. And even if you don't understand the words, even if you listen to every talk and you feel frustrated and you don't get what you think you're supposed to be getting, you will get it. It's over once you hear the words and understand that what's coming through the words is beyond the words. So I will leave it there and just understand it's coming no matter what, from a place beyond the words, beyond your understanding, beyond your need for knowledge. I will talk to you soon.